I'm driving. All of a sudden, the wheels just start spinning. I'm like, oh my God, please. I was like, come on, make it. The back starts fishtailing. The back, I'm like, oh no. And then it just becomes a solid just spin out.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, the Mustang just starts going backwards. I'm like, oh shit.
Shake it up.
Happy Groundhog's Day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's a great movie.
Groundhog
It's a
Day?
great day.
Groundhog Day, yeah.
It's a great day, dude. February 2. The Groundhog came out.
February 2?
Yeah.
February
That's a
2.
great
Do you know what
movie,
numbers
too.
are? Have you ever heard of those before?
That's a great movie, February 2. February was really good, but February 2 is like
Sorry, I meant
Almost
February
sick.
2.
Tuned.
second.
Tuned
February
The Groundhog
2nd.
came out today and saw nothing. So
Happy spring, guys.
they're saying there's going to be an early spring. We'll see how the science backs that up, but I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I like both, so I'll be happy if it snows. I'll be happy if it doesn't snow.
So is that
Yeah.
true? Kind of like the blood is blue thing? That if the groundhog like sees his...
Yes.
Shadow.
It's an old wives' tale.
It's an old
wives'
wives'
tale.
tale for sure.
I
but
never
this
knew.
Is,
I
this
was
is
like,
actually
You
true.
thought it was real?
Okay. Well, I don't know. It's like...
It's
It's
like
50-50 chance.
yeah.
But then it's like how the humans react or interact with an animal like that knows they actually saw their shadow. I guess because they run back in, the groundhog will run back into like their little rock hiding place. But it's like, what if they're just spooked?
They don't run anyways, even if they do see a shadow.
Whether
It's
they
like
hold-
it's
oh,
literally like
no.
if it's a sunny day or not. It's
Right.
spring or not. Will be
It's
early.
like using Windex on anything. You got to
Like,
cut Windex.
What if he's just in a terrible mood? You know, he goes outside and he's like, today's just not
Dude,
the day.
Punxsutawney? No way.
Punxsutawney Phil?
Yeah, screw these people. He just goes back in. Oh, he saw a shadow. We're gonna have a long winter, guys. Dude, just going in to take a dump.
That happened in Game of Thrones, right? Isn't that why the winter was coming?
Winter's
because
coming.
The groundhog was a bad guy.
Yeah. Actually,
think that's
he's
the
actually a
premise
main
of the show.
character. Yeah. And he's always naked. So much nudity.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So
congrats, everyone.
what are we drinking today?
Cheers. Cheers to Groundhog's Day and an early spring and an El Nino. Nino.
My nose touched the ice cube.
What is
So
this?
today we're drinking another drink from On the Rocks called the Classic Daiquiri.
Just sponsor us already. God damn.
Wow.
These are good.
They are good.
A daiquiri.
This one didn't smell.
Bad.
It didn't smell bad.
Dude, I was trying so hard not to laugh when you introduced the drink last episode. You were like, all right, so let's get to the... Or you're like, speaking of stinky juice or smelly juice.
Smelly
Oh.
juices.
And I was like, oh, God.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
So this one's made with Cruzan rums. Is that how you say it? Cruzan?
Cruzan?
think so.
Cruzan? Yeah.
Yeah.
Cruz.
It's good. I'll take it.
You playing games over here, Big Al?
So this has been bothering me. The dice that we got from...
Yeah, thanks a lot, Panji. You're really
Panginator.
bothering us.
It just looks like a medicine container.
Dude,
like
can I
Yeah,
borrow
yeah.
that?
Yeah.
For my vitamin C?
Yeah, Monday through Sunday. So I figured we can keep them out on display. So they're just look like little.
We got to roll one at some
We
point.
got like nuggets now, little nugs. Yeah.
I mean, it's Friday. We could roll one and have kind of one person get really screwed. You know, kind of like, what's that game? Chandelier, where one person at the very end gets really screwed.
They have to drink the nasty
mix,
cup.
Yeah, the nasty cup. Everybody dumps a
love that
little
game.
bit of something in there.
Well,
You know.
it's funny that you're saying the games because I was thinking to like increase our engagement with people watching and stuff. We should go live and like do like a quick like beer pong or chandelier or something like that, and then like the winner or loser has to, I don't know. We'll figure that part out, but
Drink
something.
it.
Yeah, we'll drink. We'll all drink.
The loser has to drink it.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because a lot of games you're like, loser drinks. But it's like, if you're all having a party, you're like, I want to drink.
Right.
You know, there'd be games like Kings where it'd be like, oh, man, I have to drink again.
I know.
God dang it.
So
I
that's
really
like same with chandeliers. I call it Rage Cage. That's I don't know, maybe it's a West Coast thing, but same game. But like that'll happen if there's like I mean we've played with like 10 people before, and it's like it'll end up staying on one side because everyone's trying to get like Sabrina or someone's trying to get whoever. But they'll like because the first person that bounces it, they can move it wherever, so they'll just like keep it in one spot.
I've
Which
heard
is great
of
for
both.
that person, but sucky for the person that's across from them that wants to drink.
That's a tough game sometimes because, I mean, even I don't really know how to play it. I learn it like I relearn it every time we play it. So I'm like, how
You
does
get
this work
so
again?
mad.
I
Not
just
mad,
I just have to like reteach it every time. It's
I
not
know.
hard. It's and I just have to. I'm like, listen up, guys.
I
Well,
know.
once I play it, I'm like, oh, I remember now.
It's
Yeah.
pretty simple.
But I always have to have it re-explained. You know.
I think the most challenging part for most when you're playing is where you're moving the cups, because it's always like, it's like, no, forward, or like, no, like go backwards.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
no, like why are you stacking it? No, and then like,
That's me.
yeah, it's like, damn it. Or like, yeah, someone will like, oh, here, like thinking they're screwing someone, and you're really not. You're like helping.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like from people drinking or if they just are stupid. But I'm like, if you bounce it once, you can put it wherever you want. Strategically, you want to put it in front of the person that has the cup, or
Right.
behind them rather. And if you bounce it any other bounce, second, third, fourth, and so forth, it goes to your right. And it's
True.
that simple.
True.
And if let's say you're to my right, I bounce on my first one, I wouldn't want to like put it anywhere. I'd still go to you.
Right, because you want me
Or
to
if
drink.
I hit it on my third or fourth one, I'd still go to you because I have to.
Right.
We should play it.
We will. All right, here we go. Where are the cups?
Use the martini
Surprise! Surprise! Surprise!
Alex loves that song.
Dude, it's so funny. The meme GIF like video thing they've made with that little clip is so funny. It'll be like, the one I saw that really made me laugh was, it's like an airplane, and the woman that sings it is like doing, like they put her on the wing of the plane, and it's like when you request time off or vacation for work and your boss like denies it or declines it, and on the bottom is like, I wasn't asking for permission. And it's like, surprise, surprise. And like it's like they're flying. It's just, I love that stuff. Stuff gets me giddy.
Love it. Love a good little laugh now and again.
I know. We should introduce, so we've got a lot of like marketing materials now. So these are our newest addition to the Martini gang. So we got coasters here. Maybe we'll start selling them. You might see them.
They're really cool, actually.
You might see them at a local bar. Yeah, QR code. So all you got to do is scan that bad boy, and you got our links to everything. YouTube, all the episodes, all the shorts, and there's a podcast link where you click it, and then it opens up like 8 different ones. So if you don't have Spotify, there's iTunes. If you don't have those, there's Amazon, there's iHeartRadio. So pretty cool. It's like perfectly fit, like the ring, the logo, and the name. Like, look at that.
Yeah.
It's nice.
They're nice ones. They seem like they're a tad waterproof too. Like, you know, like when you look at
It is.
certain coasters and they have like a stain on them.
Right.
I used to
from a
collect
drink that's
coasters,
spilled.
so I have a ton that have stains on them.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like you're probably not going to use them in your living room, but these are, you know, these are pretty nice.
So they're the cork board, I think it's called, but they are waterproof, or I shouldn't say proof, but resistant.
Resistant.
Not proof.
Yeah.
There's like plastic ones, but that's why it's a glassy top. Glossy.
So we talked about serial killer moves in the last episode, and I just thought of one, and
Oh,
it's
let's do it.
Danny's. He chews gum while he drinks.
Oh, yeah.
Are you chewing? I didn't.
I don't think I could do that,
Yeah.
Not always, but
Okay.
but now,
one thing I can't do is eat while I'm drinking. Like if I have,
me either.
like if I get a drink, I got to drink the whole thing and then I can eat.
Yeah.
I know some people who will like sip on their beer while they're like chewing a
We're
burger.
all
I'm
the
like,
same.
it tastes terrible. I think the taste is awful when you do that.
Yeah,
We'll have
it's
an
also like
app.
the carbonation too from like a seltzer or a beer that's like filling me up while I'm eating. It's like double filling me up almost. So,
Yeah. Whenever we've been out, we'll like get an app just to put something, and then we'll just let the drinks come, and then towards the end of the night, then we'll have like dinner if we're even hungry.
Yeah.
We might just get another app. But if I eat first, like a burger, fries, I'm so full I can't drink.
yeah. I
So-
like to drink and then eat.
Yes.
Sometimes I can
A
go
little
back to it,
snack.
and like if I get way too full though at dinner, like if I can't control my portions, then I'll just get too full. I'm like, all right, I'm done drinking for the night. So I got to be careful. Like if like I'm going out,
Right.
I'm like, all right, I got to get something light, and that way I can keep going afterwards.
Well, let's get right into it with pet peeves, because we all do, I'm sure. I have a bunch though. So chewing gum, the snapping of gum, I absolutely hate. Do you snap gum?
Snap it like when you blow a bubble and then
like
you pop it.
Yeah, like in
All
public.
the time, man.
In public.
Oh yeah.
I
It's
mean-
from baseball. That's what we
Okay,
would do
yeah.
growing up.
I feel like you doing it or a friend's doing it won't bother me as much. It's more so like, say you're in the store, you're going down the aisle, and it's just like, clap, clap, snap, 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 snap. It's just like, come on, man. Like
How often does that happen to you? I feel like
Close. A lot.
Damn.
a lot. And nothing against you girls, you gals, but man,
Do
that's
the girls
snapping.
do it a lot?
Yeah, and I think it's got the bad rap, like the salon or like going into salons, like they're chewing gum and in your ear and snapping the gum in your ear.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely not a pet peeve of mine.
Snapping the gum. Sorry to disappoint you.
What else you got? What other ones?
So at work, when like you're in the office, people clipping their nails.
Oh my God, dude. I'll tell you who afterwards. Or we may have talked about it, but there's a guy at Next Stage that does that way too frequently. I'm like, what are you doing? That's disgusting.
Yeah, we had a guy who would do his toenails. No joke. His toenails.
Like took his socks off and stuff?
Took his socks off, and he'd just like stick his foot in the trash and then start cutting his toenails.
What a weirdo.
Yeah, he was not a very nice guy either.
Like putting your foot, I've seen it, like putting your foot over your trash can. And it's so quiet at work.
That's gross.
Which obviously is why you listen with headphones or you're doing your stuff. But it's so quiet. It's like.
Yeah. So it's those sounds really that get you.
And then you know what it is, and it's gross.
It's almost similar to the gum snapping.
Yeah. it's just it's more of the obnoxious gum snapping too, like the open mouth chewing, like chop, 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 and snap, 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 like frequently. And sometimes they'll do the triples. It'll be like snap, snap, snap. You know what I'm talking about? All right,
I definitely do that.
Sorry, guys.
I'd say my biggest pet peeve, because I'm very like money conscious, is when people don't pay you back. Like I know it's kind of like a very broad thing to say, but
it's like, oh, I'll Venmo you, and then they don't.
And then they
it's
just
like, come on,
don't.
man. Like I took the hit here. Like you gotta Venmo me.
Right.
Exactly. That's definitely a big pet peeve of mine.
It must be of mine too, because whenever like Alex pays or something, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna Venmo you right now. Like,
Yeah.
I always do.
I always
You do
Venmo
too.
everybody right away.
Yeah, it's just do it.
Right.
Like right away.
Yeah.
You know, what are you waiting for? And then people who are just like unreasonably cheap,
No, I know.
you know, it's not fun to hang out with somebody like that because
No.
they're just like trying to cut corners every possible way.
Right.
And after a while, you're just like, I don't want to hang out with you because like it's not fun.
I mean, unless you're ordering prime steak and the biggest lobster tail in the world, and you're paying like $250 for your meal, yes, I'm not going to split that. But I'm just like, I don't care. Like,
Just a
split
couple
it.
bucks off. Like we even did that last night. Like I think mine was a little bit more expensive, so we just split it. And then we moved to the bar, and it was a little bit more expensive on my end or your end.
Yeah.
So we split it again.
It was
so
like $2 or $3
care.
each way, so it ended up evening out pretty much.
And like maybe it's like 50 cents or $1 off. So like the person who I'm thinking of would be like, oh, can you Venmo me like that extra 50 cents? Dude, come on. Yeah, come on.
There's always one of them.
Oh, can't stand it.
It's like, oh, you're like, I got your Venmo $250. It's actually $276. Like there are those people.
Yeah.
I don't Venmo any 50s. I just
Nope.
go, I'll like round up if
Same.
it makes them
Yeah.
feel better. I'm like, all right, my meal was
Thanks for
$23.50.
paying.
Here's $24
Right.
bucks. Like,
Right.
Well, that's
Thanks
when
for-
you know you've made it a little bit further in adulthood is when you could just round up and be like, here you go, pal. You know, in your early 20s, you're definitely a lot more like exact.
Right.
Like I owe you $31.87. That's what you're getting.
Right.
But now I'm like 33, dude. Here we go, 33. Get yourself a nice T-shirt.
Probably comes with the income too. It's like
Yeah.
we're broke back in our early 20s, and
Yeah.
now we all have jobs, so can afford to pay things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Amen. What about you?
Probably just like slow drivers and
People asking him questions.
Yeah.
Dare you, man.
I can't stand when like I was raised with like I don't know. I like to say that I was raised with manners. I try to be
Right.
polite.
Yeah.
And when people chew with like their mouth full of food or like not chew, like chew with their mouth open or talk with their mouth full of food, I'm like, yeah, like that drives me nuts. I'm like
He just
just
reaches
close your
over
mouth.
and
It's just
knocks me
it's just a
out.
simple thing. So yeah, I
It's
guess
funny
that's
that-
why it's called a pet peeve, right? It's just
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
simple thing that bothers you.
It just like it just irritates. It just makes you grind your
When
teeth.
someone going
Grind-
slow in the fast lane, get the hell out of my
Oh
way.
yeah. I know.
When you guys graduated high school, in your yearbook, did you list pet peeves?
No.
No.
Oh, we
Wait,
did that.
you graduated high school?
Yeah, I had to like pay off a couple teachers, but
Oh, nice.
no, I got good grades.
Just cheated. No, I'm just kidding.
It's
But
such
we
a
had to list
blur.
pet peeves, and I put mine. I'm sick of like dodging all the girls in the parking lot because they're such horrible drivers. Dude, there was like a record set at my school for girls getting in accidents in the parking lot. So it's just like,
Impressive.
yeah, I had to call them out.
Do you have any like kids in high school that had like they drove like their dad's car or something or like had nice
Oh
cars?
God, yes.
Nope.
No? Is that like I mean, I don't know.
Where I grew up, the nicest car was like a 2006 Mustang, and this was like 2012. So like
I wish.
that's what won best car was like this crappy green Mustang.
That's hilarious. So my brother had a 2004 Mustang GT, but it was like the 40th anniversary edition, like all decked out. It had a Steeda exhaust, or Magnaflow, one of the two, but it was a beast. And he let me drive it one day, and like I think it was either my last day of my junior year or my last day of my senior year. And I remember getting to the end of the school driveway, and I'm like, coast is clear. So I just drifted out of the school driveway, chirp second, chirp third, and just kept hauling ass down the road.
Dude, I love that. There was
didn't tell him that for like 10 years probably.
So my grandpa had a Corvette when I was a senior in high school, and he never let any of us kids drive it. And so he needed to leave it at my parents' house for whatever reason. So I was like, Dad, can I please take it to school? Just a couple days. I'll go right to school, and I'll come right back after golf practice. I didn't do that. I was seeing how fast that thing could go. But the problem with it was you couldn't tell how much gas was in it because the gauge was broken. So I was just like, it could have been running. That on
actually
fumes
works to your benefit though, because when you bring it home, it's like, I don't know, how much does it have?
I don't know.
I wasn't driving for 50 miles.
But yeah, I mean that was sweet. It was like a 1986 Corvette, so it wasn't anything like spectacular, but it was fun.
Yeah, my dad had a BMW Z3M Roadster, and he still does, and that's what I learned how to drive stick in. He's like, it's got some power to like kind of make up for your mistakes, and he's like, all right, so like bring it up to like 2,500 to 3,000 RPMs and kind of slowly let off the clutch. Well, I bring it up to like 3,000, a little bit over maybe, and I just like dumped the clutch. I had no idea what I was doing. Like a big, like 10 foot, 12 foot long burnout in this parking lot, and like I'm sitting there like, I'm like, what happened? He's like, oh, you just like you dumped the clutch, like it happens. I'm like, oh, okay, like you're cool with this, like thanks.
He's like, yeah, rip it. Give it
it's a good way to learn is by making mistakes. So
definitely.
He was happy that we did it in a controlled environment under his supervision.
That's a good car to learn in. I learned to drive stick in my grandpa's old Jeep truck, like the oldest, like before, Jeep was invented. This Jeep truck existed. The thing was from like 1970 or 60 or something. That was what I learned.
So Jeep. And I hope I'm right, otherwise I'll get slaughtered. It used to be like GP, general purpose, because it was a military car. So they in like Vietnam, they'd fly these things in Chinooks, drop them off, and they'd be like on their base. So GP, general purpose, then it became Jeep.
Oh wow,
that's cool.
I love how they kept that front grille from the original.
For all of them, all the models from the oldest one to current, they still have it.
Except for on like the Grand Cherokee, though.
Well, I just mean like the Wranglers.
Yeah, the Wranglers and the Gladiators.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I had a 1997 Jeep Wrangler in high school as my brother's, but he moved on to the Mustang and kind of basically handed me down the Jeep. He drove the Jeep in the winter and put his Mustang away most of the time, but I got to drive the Wrangler to school. That was fun. It was me and one other girl had a Wrangler, and like the Jeep Wave.
Right.
Oh yeah.
It's like 2 fingers.
It was fun. It was slow. You could push that thing to its limits, and you'd be going like 55.
And it's so loud.
So loud.
Yeah.
And it sucked on gas, but I was like, I don't care. Like I'm living life.
It's the best part.
It was like the half door, so like you'd like pop the windows off on like they just like went in like these little like holes.
Oh, that's cool.
But
I never took the doors off of mine. I was just too lazy. Plus, I didn't have a garage. I think if I had a garage to put it in,
then you would.
I probably would have. But sometimes it would just start pouring, and I wouldn't have time if I were to take the doors off. So
these were like fabric windows, so I'd pop the windows off and then zip off the back windows and put them all in like the tiny trunk that it had.
I've seen that.
But we took the doors off a couple times. It's actually illegal if you don't have a like frame mounted mirror, because your mirror's on your door and you have to have a mirror. So a lot of people with Jeeps, so they'll mount it to the A pillar, which comes up like right next to the steering wheel.
Oh wow!
So they'll mount it there so they can take their doors off and still be legal.
That's pretty cool.
My first car I bought for $500. It was my grandmother's, my dad's mom. It was a 1999 or 2000 Dodge Stratus.
I've never even heard of that.
Yeah.
Is it a sedan?
It's a sedan,
SUV?
basic sedan.
But you were probably balling back then. You're like, this is sick. I got my car. Like,
oh, yeah. I thought it was awesome. But I definitely went to a school that had a lot of wealthy families. And so
kids are showing up in their BMWs and stuff.
Dude, so many Mercedes, so many Beamers, so many, what's the other really?
Audi?
There were probably a couple Audis. Someone had a Humvee, dude.
Like
H2O or H1. Yeah, dude.
Was it H2 or H1?
It was.
The H2 is like the big boxy one. The H1 is the original Hummer.
I think
like
it was
military.
H2.
Okay, so the big square
H2O.
one.
Yeah, it was like bus yellow, and just
That's a drug dealer car, man.
cruising in, and like of course all like everyone wanted to ride.
That's gonna be what the Cybertruck ends up being. There's gonna be some rich kid at some high school in California. No offense.
Yeah.
Where he pulls up to school in his Cybertruck, and everybody's like, "Oh, Timmy, let me see your truck."
Yeah.
Those things are so dumb.
I
I
know.
love how everyone's like, it looks like a 5th grader drew it.
It does.
It kind of does.
It's so dumb.
The Halo vehicle looked better than that.
Well, I think Elon Musk is kind of like a 5th grader on the exterior, but like, you know, his brain is
He's
like
like
a-
4 wheels, windows. That's that
But
car.
they're bulletproof windows.
This car.
Like he focused on that, but not like the design of the car.
right. Yeah, I know.
Nothing about it makes sense.
You
Like
can't call it a truck either
No.
because there's no bed.
no, I know.
I thought the back like rolled up or zipped up or something.
Zipped up.
I don't know.
It's a Ziploc, sponsored by Ziploc.
Uh-oh. Don't get Daniel mad now. He
Yeah.
hates Ziplocs.
Dude, you already hate that truck.
Don't trigger me with the Ziploc bags now.
Yeah. I was happy. I paid for it, and it got me to A to B, and that's all.
How many cars
All
have
that
you
mattered.
had?
Not to see.
Me and my brother, like, we're not like, I don't want to say we're infamous, but like we've had a lot of cars and
Yeah.
bikes. So for me, I had the Jeep Wrangler, which was my brother's. It was never actually mine. I moved to California. I got a Nissan Xterra. That thing was pretty cool,
Yeah, those are nice.
but it was awful on gas and it had a bunch of issues, so I ended up selling it.
Was that a V8?
No, just a V6, I think.
Okay.
That was fun though. I liked that car. Then I got the Volkswagen Passat wagon, which was awesome to have a wagon because I was surfing. I was throwing my board in the back every day and just going to the beach. I sold that. That was the only. I made money on most of my cars. The Passat
Really?
wagon was the only car I lost money on because it needed some work. That thing it was just like running on love. But so I sold that and I moved out here like the next day or the next week or something. It was within a couple of days, I think. And when I got here, I got a Ford Escape. That lasted me. So I moved out in November. I got that until March, and then I sold it in March. Made fat profit on that one because I got it for a steal. I just told this guy, I'm like, I have $3,000. This is what I'm going to give you. He's like, okay.
And
then I sold her for like $4,000.
Oh man.
So I sold that. Then I got the Focus ST. I
Right.
loved that car. That was so much fun.
That's how I know you is the ST.
Yeah. So I had the ST, and then I sold that and got the truck. And now I've had the Tacoma for almost 4 years, I think. I think it's another year and a half, and it's paid off, which is sick.
Nice.
And then I had a Kawasaki KLR 650. Got rid of that. Got the Honda CRF 250. Got rid of that, and now I got the Beta 430. So I've gone through like almost 2 hands worth of vehicles.
You definitely yeah.
Do you have
Yeah.
ADHD?
Probably, yeah. But
Maybe when it comes
I'm
to
like-
motor vehicles.
I'm just like really happy with the truck now. It does everything I need it to do, and it's fun, and it's cheap, and it'll be paid off soon.
Yeah.
I want to hold on to that for like ever.
yeah.
I'm the same way with the truck. So I started with the Dodge Stratus, then I got a Kia Sportage. Hated it.
Is that like the small SUV?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like
Finishing
the
this already.
first. It was like the first, and oh yeah, try that. Oh, mix and
You
match.
pervert.
A limey donut. So it was like their first release of the models.
It's bad.
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
It's not bad.
It had the ugliest back ever. It was like
Baby, don't
So-
got
Which one is
back.
this?
bubble the Sportage, the Kia
Oh, yeah.
Sportage. It was so bubbly and rounded, and the tires.
Bubbly?
looked- dude. It was like such a round, like bulbous.
I know.
Bulb-
I know what you mean.
Yeah,
was
it looked
awful.
like an onion before you
Onion.
peel it.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the wheels like were so skinny, so like it just was so bad. So
Just a weird.
What's wrong with
looking
skinny,
car.
dude?
not skin like it just didn't look.
I'm
fat.
offended, bro.
Do you want me to start a list? Like,
I'm offended, bro.
First
Sorry,
off, being skinny. No, I'm just kidding.
No. It just
I'm
didn't
jealous.
fit. Like, It needed a little bit more width to it to make it a little more,
little more
nice.
girth.
It looks so dumb. So I actually just traded it in for
is that when you got the Camaro?
not yet.
Oh,
So I
wow.
went to a Mazda. I got a Mazda 3. And then from the Mazda 3, I was like, all right, I like driving. I like cars. I want to kind of like. Well, some people just.
I like driving.
I like driving.
Was it,
Well,
so
some
wait,
people
wait. The
hate
Mazda
driving.
3 was it like Pangees or was it like a hatchback?
It was hatchback,
It wasn't the Speed 3 though, right?
not the Speed 3. Because
I wanted
stick.
one of those, dude. I
Same.
almost got one when I lived in California. I went and test drove a few.
I asked the guy,
They're
like,
quick,
laughed
too.
in my face. They are. I was like, hey, like, I'm really interested in the Speed 3. Like, can I get it in automatic? And he goes, he's like, automatic. He's like, dude, do you know what the Speed 3 is? Clearly, it was like such a noob going into these things. Amateur.
So you had the Mazda 3.
Yep.
Just the
So I had
hatchback
that-
sedan.
Yeah.
Or
So I
a
had that for its lease ending.
Those are nice though.
Yeah.
I
No, it
like
was
those
nice.
a lot.
It was nice. It looked good. It was white. It
It's
got
affordable.
some-
It's a cheap car too.
Oh yeah.
But like still like
It was-
a good
so it was the
Japanese.
Sky-
It's like
it
the
was-
cheaper Japanese car, but still good.
It was. It was actually was the Sky Active model. So I had.
Those are nice.
I got like
That's like
almost
Mike.
40 miles per
Yeah,
gallon.
Mike had one of those.
Yeah. So then I was like, all right, like, so I say that some people don't like driving, more so like they are afraid or don't like it or whatever. Like, but I liked it, but I also wanted to get more fast, more speed. So I was like, let me look into some sports cars. So I looked at Chevrolet, and they had the Camaro, and I was like, this looks sick.
So that's how I know you.
Yep.
You
So
had the Camaro.
and I had that through its lease period. And that was like 3.5-ish years. I put a white stripe on the front hood, and yeah,
Then you wanted a Mustang, and we're like, dude, save up for like a year and just buy one. And so
And I
you
did.
did. You
Yep.
you got your grandma's car or something like that, a Lexus.
oh, it was my grandfather's. Yep,
You got your grandfather's Lexus, which was
Paid
actually
off.
a nice car, nice
Yeah.
little sedan.
leather. It had like that marbleized like plastic, like the vinyl on.
Yeah.
almost like cow. Like it was like brown with like black spots.
Oh yeah, I
The
know what you're talking
marbly
about.
look, yeah, and then like in the middle, like in the like it was like a three-way. The three-way, my
Whoa.
favorite. Three-way. No one's gonna understand this.
But
until they know.
then a year later, baby,
Yep, I drove
Alex
up to upstate New York.
went out to New York and came home with a sick Mustang.
Dude, I got such a steal on it and was lucky that this was probably like a 60-year-old's because it was like a weekend warrior type of.
Babied and garaged.
Dude, it was a 2017 with not like just over 14,000.
model was it?
It was a GT.
And then it had the cat
And it
back.
had the. So it was the
Damn.
Coyote engine, which was awesome.
the best one.
Best one. So fast. It was 450 stock horsepower.
Holy crap,
400 torque.
It's no joke. It's a nice Mustang.
Very nice.
dude! That's a lot of horsepower.
I got some
Yeah.
awesome flyby videos of Alex.
Yeah, we'll have to. We'll send them to
We
you.
used to go out on lunch, and I'd be like, "You're driving, dude. Like, I'm gonna stick
Oh,
my
yeah.
head out the window and just listen."
So if it was my weekend warrior, would have
Yeah.
kept it as is. That was my daily. So I'm driving home from New York.
Okay.
I can't hear anything.
It was loud.
The radio is on full.
Stuck there? Like
No.
stuck on full?
No, I turned it up all the
Oh,
way,
okay,
and I
okay.
still couldn't hear it.
I think we joked about this in a previous pod. Is we used
Yeah.
to start it from like upstairs and the next stage, and like everyone would be like, "What the hell was that?"
It would like
Damn.
walk,
It was so
it would
loud.
walk up to the window.
Whoa.
Dude, the cold start on that thing
It was
was
so-
no joke, man. Like everyone hated me at the condo because I didn't have a garage. Hated me, and the muffler was literally pointed straight at someone's window, their bedroom window. So every morning going to work at like 7:50, like
Whoa.
blast, yeah, like that. Right?
Holy crap. Well,
So we
That sounds like-
you modified it.
Oh, I modified
got
it
rid
a
of that.
lot. So I got rid of it to be my daily. So I went from a catback to a axleback. Beautiful. It was a Roush.
Perfect sound.
Perfect sound. It was quiet when you wanted it to be and loud when you wanted it to be. Then I tinted the windows. I added a cold air intake. I added a 93 octane tune.
Yeah, you were probably pushing 500 horsepower.
Oh yeah, yeah.
were you a drug dealer, bro?
Nope.
Okay.
No,
Just double checking.
never. No,
Cool.
why? Because
Cool,
of the
cool.
money. No, I just.
Well, no, that's like it's just such a feminine car to own.
Get
know what
out
I
of
mean?
here.
There's so many feminine drug
Get
dealers.
out of here. It was.
Do you want some drugs or what?
I'm in a Mustang. So I did the whole. I did the whole.
Crack open another one.
Yeah, another one. They call it the stormtrooper. So it was the
White
white
with
car
black
with all the black
accents, yeah.
accents. So we
That's
actually did
We had similar cars.
yeah.
had
So
some
we
photo
did the same
shoots.
thing together. We did our mirrors because we were going to a car show. So we both
Was
plastic
it
dipped
UMass or UC3?
UC3,
Yeah, that was a fun one.
and we all had
drove
the
down with-
walkie talkies.
Dude, and UMass. Were you at the
Yeah.
UMass one too?
Yes. I think one of them.
We were driving out with
then,
Corey in the GTR, that like crazy like
yes,
purple one.
Yes, I
Yeah.
went to 2, so those
Yeah.
had to have been.
Yeah,
them.
I think that was it.
Huh.
UC3 is a huge show. So is UMass, but
that was
those
good.
are fun.
I paid the $50 or $80 to like be one of the cars to win. It's like, dude, like, yes, it looked really nice, but it was basic compared to everything else. Like, I was just like a nice looking Mustang GT, whereas other people are coming in with the craziest vinyl like plastic dips, like not plastic dips, but like dips, like whole car, like holographic looking lights, like suicidal doors. I mean, I had no, but it was a cool. I had no
Damn.
I had no competition.
We actually started a car club for
Yeah.
a while. We had like, I don't know,
my
what,
God.
5 of us?
Yeah.
Me, you, Zane, Jared, Mike,
Yep.
and
There's a couple other people,
Was
I
there?
think.
We
Someone with
just,
a
we-
Volkswagen, I think,
yeah.
or someone like we met that was like, yeah, like I'll join your page, I'll
Yeah.
join your group. Locals
It was
only.
fun. It was fun.
dude. It was.
We had a good
it was
time.
great.
The way I look at it, I'm like, all right, I had my fun in the sports car, and now I have the nice, the nice, slow, safe truck. But like owning a home, you need a truck.
Right. And I stuck with Ford. Well, no, you're right. No matter where I was, because it's awesome being able to put everything in the truck, and you know too now. It's just so nice, man. We went to Home Depot once, and we got a 7.5-foot Christmas tree. We got Duralogs. We got like a bunch of cleaning supplies. We got like a trash can. We got a bunch of like house products. All just threw them in the back. Still had the back seat clear. Like the Mustang. Oh man, I don't know how.
I think that was like the tipping point. It's like you moved here, and you're like, I can't move anything. I got no space. And then Lexi had a little sedan, so you're like, I need something bigger.
And I got stuck.
Right.
Dusting.
That was another thing.
Dude, like centimeter deep, like deep, if centimeter like high, dusting. And I was going up this hill to my sister-in-law's, and I get like halfway, and it was probably like about 45, 48 degrees. It wasn't that steep. I shouldn't have, but I did because I had summer sports performance tires on. I get halfway. I'm driving. All of a sudden, the wheels just start spinning. And I'm like, oh my God, please. I was like, come on, make it. The back starts fishtailing. The back, I'm like, oh no. And then it just becomes a solid just spin out.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, the Mustang just starts going backwards. I'm like, oh shit. So I like kind of tried to turn to get like onto the side. And I kind of like hit the curb and got on it. So I pulled the emergency brake, turned my wheels in so like I wasn't moving. Dude, I had to call a police officer, had to close the street. A tow truck had to come. They poured sand down. The cop was like, he's a dick, dude. Like he didn't need to be as mean as he was. He's like, bro, we got to get the car like off the road. It's like, then help me get it off, dude. Like,
Yeah,
what
what
am
do you
I
think I'm
supposed
trying to do?
Yeah. Like I don't want to cause a scene. But I got off. I got out. I was towed and
Owning a truck, though, has been life-changing.
Oh, it was
'Cause
amazing.
I have the dirt bike I got to move sometimes. I have a jet ski I got to tow. The
Right.
home renovations was the biggest thing. I don't know where we would have been without my truck. Because
Yeah.
we demoed everything. We knocked down the whole kitchen. We knocked down a lot of a couple walls. We rebuilt walls, but it's like everything we piled up and then threw in the back of the truck
Right.
and took it to the dump. So Lindsay said it before. She's like, I don't know what we would have done without your truck.
I know. Trucks are great, and it's a nice truck. And I lucked out. It's a 2020, and I definitely did some mods to try and resemble what I had.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, got the snow, the stormtrooper look again.
The only downfall with the truck,
What's up?
anybody who is moving.
Yep.
Oh, hey, I'm moving next month. Would you mind helping me
I
since
know.
you have a truck?
Listen, dude, Letterkenny said it first, but
Yeah.
when a friend needs help, you help.
Yeah.
No, for sure. But it's like anybody who's
The
moving.
non-friends,
Like, oh,
right.
hey, my third cousin is moving tomorrow. Can you
Right.
help him out since you have a
Your
truck?
husband has a truck, right? Your fiance has a truck, right? Yeah, let's call him.
Yeah, and then you end up doing like most of the moving yourself.
Yeah.
It's like,
You guys have full-size trucks, so like mine's a smaller truck. So I'm like, dude, even when we helped you move to here, I'm like, I got like 10 boxes in my bed. I'm like, it's full.
Yeah.
Like, I luckily, my mother-in-law's boyfriend has a trailer he lets me borrow. So like, just last weekend we were moving my grandmother's furniture from Westwood up to Methuen. We loaded up the trailer, took the trailer all the way down to Methuen, loaded it up, and then brought it up, or down to Westwood rather, loaded it up and then brought it to Methuen. Cool. So it's definitely, you gotta do what you gotta do basically. But
I'm there. I'm there for you. Just don't take advantage of someone.
All right.
Yeah, for real. I think
That's
if it's someone close to you, it's like okay.
Yeah.
But if it's like somebody just random, I'm
Right.
like, dude, come on.
I know.
I want to watch
I
TV.
saw you in
It's funny. I had a friend.
1989.
I had a friend in
I
college.
wasn't even born yet.
I don't even know how I knew this guy, but a friend at SDSU, and we were on Facebook or something before we joined. It's like, oh, you're going like whatever, new students, what type of thing. But we didn't live in the same dorm. We didn't go to any classes. I don't know how I knew this guy, but I was like, dude, I'm moving, and he's like, he let me borrow his truck. He's like, here, take my truck.
Wow.
And I was like, thanks, man. That's like a huge help.
And then
That's
you drove
cool.
it off a cliff.
And I drove it off a cliff.
That's cool. That's cool.
It was a
Imagine.
first gen taco actually, so I loaded it up with all my stuff and moved because I was moving dorms.
Okay. The taco.
Yeah,
Taco truck.
my grandpa had like a T100. I think it was a T100. It was before Tacomas, but like basically the first gen taco, and they sold it like a year before we moved there.
Right.
And they regretted it so much. Like, oh, this would have been such a great truck for you. Like, it would have been perfect for going down to school. Because I lived like an hour from school. So it was like, oh, we got to load up all my stuff every year and pack it up, and then surfboards and bikes and whatever. So they're like,
Bongs.
we would have given it to you, but we sold it. They sold it to like a landscaper or something.
Oh, wow.
But it's the first truck I drove. I sat on his lap as like a 10-year-old or 12-year-old and just drove it around this old racetrack that's all run down. And he's like, you want to drive it home? I was like, hell yeah. I'm like 12 at the time. So I'm sitting on his lap driving it. Like, we're taking back streets or back roads, and we're only like, I don't know, 5 minutes from my grandmother's house. And sure enough, we drove right past a cop.
Oh man.
He was just sitting in his car, but he didn't look twice.
He's probably snoozing.
Probably.
Or like in Super Troopers, he had like a little mannequin in there and he was fishing.
Yeah.
It's like,
Hey
that's
there,
great.
handsome, catching you speeders.
Remember those gag gifts? They still make them, but when they first started, it was like a pair of glasses, but it was like eyes open,
Oh,
so you
yeah.
could like sleep in class.
Dude, that's genius.
It's like, dude, come on. It's like because they were so wide open, it was so fake, so obvious.
You could get tattoos on your eyelids
You could.
of eyeballs.
So going back to cars, what have you had?
Yeah.
Give us the rundown.
You got a Prius?
Did you really?
No.
Ah.
I would have believed you.
I started off with a gas guzzler, a Jeep Grand Cherokee. So it was a Jeep Grand Cherokee. I think it was a 1998.
Was it a Sport?
No.
So the Sport was like this more square one. My cousin had one of those. They were sweet. But
No, it wasn't a Sport. It was that's a Jeep Cherokee Sport.
Yeah.
This was a Jeep Grand Cherokee
okay.
Limited.
Yep. You're
So I
right.
like the sunroof and everything, and it was a really nice car. It was a hand-me-down from my brother.
They're
and
dirt
then-
cheap.
Nice.
Yeah, that one I think my dad got for like $5,700, and it was the same thing where it was an old lady who just kept it in her garage for years. So, dude, this was a 12-year-old car with maybe 10,000 miles on it, maybe more, a little bit.
What was the year?
1998.
Okay, yeah.
So we
It's not
got it
bad.
in like 2011 or something.
Right.
But I decked that thing out. Like we put massive subwoofers in it. And it was just, dude,
Ugh.
that thing would make you drool if you turned up whatever song it was.
Oh,
I forget
I
what
bet.
song I was my go-to because there were some like
Break
crazy
Stuff
ones.
by Limp Bizkit.
No,
Just one of those days.
there were some with like crazy bass, mostly
Oh,
like
dude.
rap songs. But
Maniac by Kid Cudi. Maybe some 50 Cent.
no, I like Pursuit of Happiness by Kid Cudi.
I loved old Kid Cudi. Night and Day was the album, right?
Yeah.
And the
Day and-
song,
Day and
but
Night.
sorry,
Day
Night
and
and Day.
Night.
Oh my God,
Yeah,
Day,
yeah.
Day and Night. Yeah, that was
was a
actually a
really
really
good
good
one.
album.
And then so after that Jeep,
Night and Day.
I went to the Pontiac G6.
Like a G6.
That was a decent car, but I left the sunroof open when I was in Tampa, and there was a monsoon, and dude, there was like an inch of water in there.
My
And
neighbor had a
so-
G8 GT. Those things were sick.
Yeah, they're nice cars, no doubt, but this thing just got full with mold. You could smell it when you got in there. So when I moved up here, Abby's like, that thing just smells like terrible. And I was like, I know. I'm like low-key getting poisoned. So that's when I got the Jeep Gladiator.
That was nice.
Had that for 3 years,
Oh, nice.
and then just traded that in for the.
You texted us one day, you're like, I think my lease is up like today. I need to go. Like
That was
I,
so
yeah.
I
good.
think we're gonna get together or something. I can't. I gotta go get a new truck.
Yeah, like all of a
And-
sudden the guy was like, "Hey, you're past your mileage on your truck. Like, do you want to come in and look at some new stuff?" And
You were over the Gladiator.
yeah, dude, I hated that truck, man.
Why?
I hated that thing. Well, first of all, if you went on the highway, it wasn't aerodynamic at all.
It's
So the
square.
wind would blow and you'd be like all over the place.
Yeah.
And I just didn't trust it. Like,
No.
and it was freezing cold because it had the soft top and the door. You know, the doors were so freaking like skinny that
I had the soft top. In high
Hey,
school.
whoa, what's
Yeah.
wrong with that?
I know, dude.
In the winter, dude, I'd go out and start my Jeep like before high school, like 10, 15 minutes before I'd leave. I'm like, this thing needs to heat up. And then it still wouldn't be hot until I was like a mile from school.
Exactly right. It's like,
Yeah.
what's the point? Yeah,
Remote start's great.
I love my new truck though. I freaking love
So you
that
moved on
thing.
from the Gladiator to
to the Ram 1500 Hemi e-torque.
Oh,
Don't forget it.
fog light already out.
I know. When you told
Damn
me
it.
that, I was like, "Are you kidding me? I've had this thing for like."
Is it covered?
What?
Well,
I
so
don't-
what was funny was when you had the Gladiator, you had a fog light out, and you're like, "Yeah, I traded it in because the fog light was out."
Do they cover that since you got it new?
I'm sure.
Yeah,
Nice, that's
yeah,
good.
It's got it's a lease. I'm
Well,
leasing
lease,
it.
yeah.
But I'm going. My plan is to buy it. I just want to make sure I like the truck first.
Right.
So
That's what
once
test
the
drives
interest
are
rate
for.
Yeah.
once the interest rate drops, I'll probably end up buying it.
That's a nice
So.
truck.
Yeah.
I
Test-
love that thing, man. It roars when you start it up.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Dodges always sounded the best.
Yeah. When the bed is huge and it's the crew cab, so the back seat is like
Yeah, you both have
excessively huge.
you both have like
Yeah.
hotel rooms in your cars.
I know, for real. You
I'm
could
like
sleep
shoulder
in
to
that
shoulder
thing.
You,
next to somebody.
Yeah.
absolutely could. You put the seats up in my truck. You put them up in the back seat. You could literally lay like a twin air mattress in
Yeah,
there and
100%.
comfortably sleep.
Like I said,
It's
I
so
want to
sick.
keep the Tacoma, but I think someday I'll either move into a F-150 by Ford or a 4Runner. I like the 4Runners
Nice.
a lot.
4Runners
And
Yeah.
are nice.
Toyotas.
The back window goes down.
I always thought that was cool. I think I knew
Yeah.
someone in
Cool.
town growing up that like they had like a huge subwoofer in their back and the back window went down. I was like, that thing is cool, man.
I know. It's a nice
But
looking car, too.
They are nice, yeah. And but the funny thing is, if I leave the Tacoma, it's like it's built on the same frame as a Tacoma, so it's going to drive exactly the same. It's just not going to have a bed.
Oh.
But they're nice.
Yeah.
It'll be a nice like head up to the mountains in the weekend type of car.
Couldn't you
Hell
always
yeah.
just cover your bed?
Yeah, I could get a topper.
Yeah.
They're pretty affordable.
I just like I can't. If I were to do anything, I want to get bed racks and do a rooftop tent on the bed.
Oh, yeah.
But then I can't take the bike places, and I can't
Yeah.
you lose your bed accessibility.
You could get a small trailer, like just for one bike.
yeah,
You know?
yeah,
and just
I
pull
know.
that.
Or I mean, even a small trailer would probably fit too because we have dirt bikes. They're small.
Yeah, we used to have one of those, and it was pretty convenient.
But I am like, my dream is to like get the rooftop tent, and then like I really want to go to crap, what's it called? The Canadian island off of Maine, basically.
Oh.
That's gonna drive me nuts.
I can't.
Nova Scotia.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, yeah.
I really want to go to Nova Scotia. So there's a ferry from Portland that'll take you there. I'm like, we should get a rooftop tent and then just drive around the island and just camp at places because there's tons of camping grounds up there.
Is Lindsay like cool with camping?
Yeah, she'd
Yeah,
love
so
to do that. But
Just give her a book.
unrealistically, I'd love to get the rooftop tent and go like overlanding in Alaska.
That would
Take
be
like a month off and just
nuts.
drive around Alaska and just camp places with the rooftop tent.
In the summer, I feel like that'd be cool.
yeah,
Winter, you might get stuck.
probably. My only like I don't have experience doing it, but my only advice is make sure that at nighttime when you're sleeping and stuff, you have everything's like locked up.
Yeah.
You're in a locked area. I've heard some horror stories where like they're camping out in the woods and
Bears.
Well, those
no people.
those are horror
People.
movies.
What are people doing in the woods?
Just they come and try and rob you. They try and
Freakazoids.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd have my
Yeah.
gun on me.
yeah.
Well, what if you rented a U-Haul? Like, aren't they only like
Damn
$20 a
U-Haul.
day?
For what?
You could rent a U-Haul and then sleep in the back.
Yeah.
You,
You
wouldn't have
could.
to stay in a
Sure.
hotel.
But
Be a little bit more spacious.
dude, U-Haul is such a joke though because they go starting at 1995.
Yeah.
They don't include
$80
anything
per
else.
mile after
Right.
that. It's
right.
like, what?
It's like they only give you like 10 miles for free. Then it's
Yeah.
just like
It really
doing
is
that.
like a scam.
It's
So they bait you.
oh yeah, and then you have to deliver the truck back the way the gas gauge was found, which is usually on full.
Oh, yeah.
And dude, I've literally filled it, and like it clicks, like you know when the gas pump
Yeah.
clicks off, like at the handle.
They have some mechanism that it goes down to like 3/4, so they
Dude, they
charge
go,
you.
it wasn't totally full, so they charged me an extra like $28 for to top it off, and I'm like, this is my receipt, and I did this purposely. I'm like, I need this to be refunded. I went to the gas station. This is my receipt. This is how many gallons I put into it, and I was like, I was holding it down till it clicked off. Like, and a lot of times, the no door like capless or whatever. Yeah, capless tanks.
Mm-hmm.
Once it clicks, you're not supposed to top it off or overfill it.
Right.
So once it clicked, I was done. And they're like, yeah, like you missed like a gallon and it was like
So they
one
charge you
point,
$28 for a gallon of gas.
whatever the hell it was.
Take a long walk
yeah,
up a
I know.
short pier,
I was like,
my
are you
guy.
serious, man? It's on F. Like, come on.
Maybe that was the owner, Saul U-Haul.
Saul Goodman.
I think we talked about it. My grandpa said
Yeah.
U-Haul when I was
did.
little, and I thought
Damn,
it was a swear.
U-Haul.
He's like, get off my ass, you U-Haul. I'm like, oh, grandpa said U-Haul.
Honestly, that's kind of up there with the diss on one of our earlier videos when that girl or the guy was like, you muppet.
Yeah.
So it's funny to be like, you damn U-Haul. They'd be like, what? I like that.
Yeah.
So I gotta just start this. Like we always get into these really good discussions and stuff, and then like, but next thing we know, like it's like our time. But
Yeah.
we've been talking about school and our cars and stuff. And this was actually something that you had shared, which I think is cool. So did you have like an iPod Touch or something in school? You would play like games, download apps.
For shizzle.
I'll never forget one Christmas, Mike and I both got iPod Touches, and I was like, it was the coolest thing ever.
The coolest, man. It didn't call, but you could connect to Wi-Fi, and it was just...
I was probably like 10, he was like
Yeah.
18 or something, but it was still cool because it was new technology at the time.
I was on that thing so much.
I didn't get an iPod Touch, but I definitely did get touched.
By an iPod?
By
Yeah.
an iPod? Oh, that's not good. Touched your heart. So these are like some of the most famous games that were downloaded in like the 2000s, like high school days, the ones that were like trending and everyone was playing.
Doodle Jump's definitely one of them.
Yep.
So this is the first one. That was it. So it's a versus thing. So there's 2 apps, 2 games, and it's like one versus the other. So tell me. Let's see. So it was Jetpack Joyride or Doodle Jump?
I don't remember Jetpack Joyride, but I remember Doodle Jump.
Doodle
like,
Jump.
Dude, I never forget like trying to set like the highest record, and it's like
It was all motion.
all of a sudden, like you remember you hit the ones that would like launch you like I don't know 3,000 feet or whatever, and it's
Oh,
like,
yeah,
you
yeah.
don't see anything, and then all of a sudden there's like a place to land. It's like oh crap! It's like
I know, yeah.
that was a fun game,
It was.
especially for its time, dude.
There was a guy at my school who would break like 100,000.
Yeah.
He's a Ben Duran music. He's on like the radio and stuff now, country singer.
oh cool.
That is cool.
Have to
So
give
I
him
was
a shout.
I was a Jetpack Joyride guy. So it was
Is that like
it was
Subway
a,
Surfer?
it was a
Subway
no,
Surfer.
well, so kind of, but it was a scroller. So it was running. It was like Mario. So it was like a scrolling game,
Oh, okay.
a scroller game or 2D, whatever it is. So it was running from left to right, and you had a
okay.
jetpack. And so it was like guns, machine guns. So you would go up and down. You would collect coins.
Oh,
And then
okay.
So like Flappy Bird a little bit.
kind of, yeah, exactly.
but with a jetpack.
And the further you got, the more the
What
more
was it? What was
more
the one
points.
like Tomb Runner or something?
That's on here.
Yeah,
yeah.
that was a great one too. Because you'd run and then there'd be a wall. You'd be like, swipe right to go right.
Yeah,
Right.
what was it?
Temple Run.
Temple
Temple
Run.
Run.
Yeah,
yeah,
that was
a
the
good one.
OG.
That and Subway Surfer. And,
Subway Surfer is great.
And Doodle Jump were like my go-tos.
What about Hill Climb Racing,
Oh, Hill Climb, yeah. The
Or-
dirt bikes.
Geometry Dash?
Never played that one.
Okay. Yeah, I remember the name. I never played it though, but definitely Hill Climb Racing. That's when you could draw your platforms or like the jumps, right, to get to like.
Oh, what was that
right?
one
Or was
though
that
where you could
different?
like? I know what you're talking about. There's like a sled, and you could like
Yes,
draw your
yes.
own track.
Yes.
Dude, that was a lot of fun.
That was a lot of
That was
fun.
like early
Yeah.
engineering for us little kids. We were like making our own tracks. We're like, all right, it's gonna launch here. Where's it gonna land? It's like, all right, he landed here. Pause. Draw the line.
So the hill climb. Now I remember now. So you were trying to level out the truck, right? So you wouldn't crash. Like if you went off a jump, you had to level it when you landed.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you would crash and it would be game over.
Are those still available for download?
So when you sent me the,
I checked.
Yeah,
What
Yeah.
was the one we were talking about?
paper toss.
Paper Toss.
Yeah.
The OG. Is
Oh,
not,
yeah.
It's
OG,
not. It's
man.
not there anymore.
Yeah.
But
But-
that's the one where you try to throw it in the trash bin.
Yeah, but
and
that-
it was
now
a
there's,
fan,
like-
oscillating fan.
Yeah.
Dude, it was so
that one's
fun.
gone. It's
I know.
gone. But there's a couple other renditions of it.
Yeah.
Is Doodle Jump still there? Because
Probably.
I can get
must
behind, I
be.
can get behind that.
Temple Run's still there.
I have like 2
Angry
games
Birds.
on my phone.
Yeah.
Angry Birds. Yeah, that,
That was
a
a
big
fun
one.
one.
Remember Talking Tom?
Dude, I remember playing Angry Birds like in my childhood home. Like,
Oh yeah.
I just like obviously
The
that's when we
original,
got it,
the
but
original was awesome. The original was so good.
I don't know if I was into it right away, but everyone's like, "Oh, Angry Birds," and I was like, "Oh, I'll check it out." And I was like, "This is so fun."
Yeah.
There was one where there was like a landscape of like basically just up and down, and you'd launch someone, and if you held it down, they'd like dive, and you'd have to like hit these like jumps.
Oh, the
Remember that
jumps.
one?
Yes, I do.
That was a good one too. I
I
don't know if it's
do.
on the list.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was like literally like a heartbeat type of thing.
Right.
Just,
So
hills,
it
and
was
you'd
like
have to,
timing it just
it'd
right,
be flying, and then you hold down to dive, and
Right.
then hit the jump,
and
like
then go higher.
fly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like a kitten toss or whatever.
Yeah.
But different.
Tanks was like that too. Remember Tanks?
Yeah.
So you had the
Tanks is a
landscape.
game pigeon game.
Yeah, we
Oh,
still
is
play
it?
that
Okay,
sometimes.
yeah. I know. I gotta get back into it. The game pigeon.
I hate that
Fruit
one.
Fruit Ninja. There
I
was.
never
there was-
played Fruit Ninja.
So yeah. So Fruit Ninja was probably one of the first games I got on the iPod because it was
Just
like an
slicing.
apple.
You're slicing up
Yeah.
the watermelons.
Yeah. It was really addicting. Honestly, it was almost like therapeutic. Where's My Water and Temple Run.
Temple Run was awesome.
Where's my water?
I don't know where's
that
my
one.
water is, but
Another one I know of but never played it. I think so. Yeah, it's a crocodile or an alligator, and you had to like block the entryways of where the water could drown him.
Oh.
So you were trying to like
I know those types
disperse.
of games.
Yeah, like make them go other ways.
Which will fill first and which will yeah.
Subway Surfers versus Paper Toss.
I loved
Yeah.
Subway Surfers.
Yeah, it was good.
Because you could
It was
like jump
good.
up on top and then go down below and change
Yeah.
trains.
Angry Birds versus Clash of Clans.
I never played Clash of Clans,
Yeah.
but Angry Birds is awesome.
Angry Birds.
Since it's versus, I go with Angry
We should
Birds.
get some of these games.
I know.
I don't know like why like you get a new phone, it's like all right, and then like you obviously grow up.
Well, that's why I was staring off in the distance because I was trying to think of what that game was where you said you have to time it and you have to hit that
Well,
hit
we'll
the
find it.
crescent perfectly.
Well,
And
I'll
then you-
look it up.
You know, I need to
You
know
know
what
what I'm
that
talking about,
was.
though, right?
Yes, I do, but I can't remember what it was.
Dude, it's so weird. Yeah, I have like the weirdest memories. I remember listening to some like, I think it was like Rihanna and Jay-Z, so maybe it was like Empire State of Mind or
Yeah.
something. I
Yeah.
remember listening to that while playing that game. It's like such a weird random memory.
So that was probably like 2011 or something.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I'll find it.
In New
Yeah, the
York.
whole like pressing and holding. That was
That was a
such
fun
good
one.
one.
Yeah. But I like so Temple Run and Subway Surfers kind of like the same concept. Like you run until you need to like maneuver
Yeah.
of some sort.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
and
those are
it's
fun.
Third person.
Yeah. I was what about like PlayStation games if we have I'm not sure if we have time. Maybe that's the next episode thing.
Yeah.
But
Like 10 minutes.
there's some good like like Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, ATV, Off-Road Fury,
Yeah.
like all these I remember, dude. That's like how I heard like Headstrong by Trapped
Oh,
because that
dude.
was ATV Off-Road Fury.
Even like Tony Hawk introduced me to some of like the greatest.
Yeah.
They had like the greatest soundtracks.
Yeah.
I love doing the
Superman.
cheat codes in Tony Hawk where you could do an endless manual.
Oh yeah.
Just like you just go on forever and ever.
I
That
think
was
they had
so
zero gravity too. So
Really?
like, yeah. So like when you would go off like a quarter pipe or half pipe, you just went so high, so you could just 1080, 1080, 1080, 1080, and you got like millions of
So
points.
I'm not. It might be Pro Skater 1, but remember the one where it's like the warehouse and you come through the glass and you drop in. There's like
Yeah, that was one.
2 gigantic half pipes with
Yes.
a spine in the middle.
Yep.
That was awesome, dude.
And the secret tape, you said? The secret tape would be
Yeah,
where you
yep.
crash through. Yeah.
Right in the, like the middle.
That was
like, in
one.
the lantern or
That's-
something.
That's like the most famous, one of the most famous levels.
I don't know if like
was
that's what got me
Warehouse.
into skateboarding, but probably.
Oh yeah, man.
I loved skateboarding when I was little.
If you went back to those games, because sometimes I'll download like a PS2 game on my PS5, like San Andreas or something, you're like, holy crap, the graphics were horrible.
Horrible.
How did we play this game?
Horrible.
But back then, it seemed like so legit.
Yeah. Did
You
you
know?
guys ever play Counter-Strike?
No.
Yes.
So Mike played it a lot, so I played it. But
Yeah.
I went back and played it after playing like all the Call of Duties basically. And I was like, this is ass. This is so
It's
garbage.
it's terrible.
But like at the time, it was the funnest thing to do. I just go down to my dad's office, put on some Fall Out Boy, and play Counter-Strike.
It's all we knew, and
Fall Out Boy.
and now it's what we know now. So it looks like crap.
we're going down
Out swinging.
We said this. I think we were just hanging out one night. We were talking about this, but everyone's face was just like boxy. The hands were all, the fingers were all connected in GTA. Like when they're talking, hey, like Masamati, like the Italian guy, Vice City and stuff. Like, hey, it's Tony and Masamati.
Yeah.
And it was like, and they're always just doing this when they're talking. Like, doesn't matter what they're talking about. It was always just
Tony.
Yeah, hey Tony, yo, let's go, man. How's it going? As the family.
Yeah. What was your favorite like PS2 game? Mine was Bully.
Oof.
I don't know if you ever played that.
Dude, by Rockstar.
Rockstar,
same,
yeah.
Same company.
Probably Need for Speed. I loved those games because I was
Those
always
are
into
good.
cars, and that's probably what got me into
Which
cars.
which
too.
version? Like Underground, Most
Like Need
Wanted?
for Speed.
Oh,
So
Underground,
Need for
yeah.
Speed Hot Pursuit 1 and 2 were awesome.
Oh,
so
yeah.
we get like my friend would come over and like we'd get creative. Like we'd do like the free play open map, and I'd be like, all right, we're gonna play hide and seek. So like you sit there and like whatever, look off in the distance while I go find a place to hide. I'd go find like a bush that you could drive through it, or like because all you could see on the split screen was like a wall or like a tree or like just some sort of landscape in the background that would maybe give it away. So I'd go find like a bush where like you drive through the bush, but then the bush is like in the foreground, so it's like right in the camera, so you can't see anything. And he'd be driving around until all of a sudden, bam, just crashes into me.
The hide and seek thing's funny. Because in Call of Duty they would have the what was it?
Search and destroy.
No, not search and destroy. It was
Prop hunt.
prop hunt.
Yeah.
So you would start off as an object, and you had 3 changes. So like you could press, like if you were like something crazy like a big dumpster, depending on what map you were on, you hit it once and then you would become like a barrel. If you didn't like the barrel, hit it one more time and you became like a caution cone.
Huh.
And so you move the objects around and you try and set yourself up to look real natural in the map. And
Like,
so
why is there a dumpster in that field?
Right. Like sometimes you'd be like a crate and you'd be like, oh man, like nothing's gonna. So then the opposite team.
That's funny.
Yeah, the opposite team would be you'd be like the military guys.
Which Call of Duty was this?
There were in a couple of them.
I never
think
played that
Modern
one.
Warfare
Oh, really?
and a couple others. Yeah.
My favorites
Prop
in
hunt.
Modern Warfare were Capture the Flag. I loved
Oh,
those
dude,
games.
so
I like
good.
domination.
That
Love
was good too.
domination.
Yeah.
Dom.
I just like
Remember-
throwing grenades.
Oh yeah.
Dude, the best was throwing a knife across the map and randomly getting somebody.
Dude, yeah,
So
that
good.
takes some skill.
Or
I liked.
we used to do that too. That was like instead of hide and seek, I'd be like, all right, go stand over here and like see where this knife falls, and we'll just like capture a crazy shot across the map of like a knife.
There was a perk called Martyrdom
Yeah.
where if you got killed, you drop a grenade. So you'd pretty much always
So
kill.
if someone stab you and they just blow up.
Yeah, yeah.
What was that one map that was really small?
Shipment.
It was
Which game?
It was probably Modern Warfare 1. It was a sandy one, and there was like a
Rust.
Rust.
Oh, Rust.
That's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
I'm
And you
thinking
could
of.
go all the way to the top.
That was a fun one to do. Only because you could play like only knives and stuff like that. Knives and handguns.
only snipes.
Remember drop shots, dude? I
yeah.
was so good at that. All of a
Yeah.
sudden, like I'd just be running around and then drop and then scope and boom.
Yeah, that was.
They
People
call-
hated people like that.
I think nowadays they call them no scopes, like no scope
Well, that's
shots.
like without.
well, that's with a sniper.
That,
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So I'm talking about the sniper, but that's
Drop
using the
scope.
scope.
It's like a
But,
quick though. It's
but
like
a no scope is you just shoot with a sniper without using the scope.
Yeah,
it's like you zoom in on where you're shooting, but immediately release and trigger. I think
Okay.
that's what
Yeah.
it is. It's just like because it's usually a one shot,
There
one
was some.
kill.
Dude, I'd love to play Call of Duty. It's been a long, long time.
So I guess 2024 this year, their new installment is going to be Gulf War. So we'll see. It's going to go off
That'd be
of
cool.
like the Black Ops.
I mean, I could even get back into like
Days.
Modern Warfare 2 or 3.
I still
I
play
think
the first one.
Modern Warfare 3 was probably the last one I ever played.
Yeah.
What are the
Did
big
it-
games coming out this year? Obviously, like a Call of Duty.
Not
I know
GTA.
MLB The Show 24 is coming out in like a month.
I mean, NHL has a new one every year. It's
yeah,
pretty
it's
good.
just those typical ones. But any like other big ones coming out?
So I've been playing Alan Wake. The first one came out like 10, 12 years ago. Fantastic game. Like it's a single player, but the storyline's amazing. Graphics are just incredible. I'm sure on the PS5 too. I don't know like any big installment. I mean, GTA is the biggest, most anticipated game in the absolute
but that's
world.
2025, right?
I know. So like I
Yeah.
don't know what else this year. Obviously, you're gonna get your NHLs. You're gonna get the
All those, yeah.
the, NFL.
PGA
Do they still do
Tour.
NBA Streets or whatever? I was never a big
No.
basketball
No.
guy, but the NBA Streets were fun.
Yeah,
So
on
fun.
PSP. I
Yeah.
love that
Yeah.
game.
Streets was like the baseball game where you could like punch out punch out the team. What was it called? It was
Was it an MLB game?
yeah,
It
yeah. It
was,
was called
yeah, like-
not knockout, but damn it.
Dude.
Yeah, you could like run up and just like punch them.
Yeah.
Going back to like computer games, though, do you remember what was it? Like MLB Backyard or something like that.
Yeah, backyard baseball.
Backyard baseball.
yeah,
that
it was-
dude. That's a memory on.
It was Rodriguez. Rodriguez. You always wanted Rodriguez, right?
Ivan Rodriguez, maybe?
A-Rod?
Or
Well, backyard baseball.
Yeah, so
Right?
backyard baseball, like I had almost every single year.
Okay.
I had a
But-
Game Boy game that was baseball and it was so fun.
Oh, really? Yeah, they were definitely a lot more fun back then. They haven't really
It was
improved
Pablo.
that much. Yeah,
you're-
Pablo Sanchez. That's,
Sanchez, not
yeah, and then there was like
Sanchez.
Pete Wheeler, Trisha Takanawa, or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like
yeah.
that, or
You'd have the
Kenny
geeky-
Kawaguchi. He was in a wheelchair.
The wheelchair dude with
Yeah.
the cast on his leg or something.
Yeah,
and you
he
could
was just, like,
friggin'
broken leg.
like knock it out of the park. Everyone wanted Pablo because his stats were just
Well, and his strike zone was like this big. It was so tiny.
It's fun to talk about these things because I
inhaler.
mentioned this last time. We didn't grow up together, so we all like had different childhoods. We didn't know each other until like our mid-20s, really. And even then, like
Late
I
20s, yeah.
for you, it's late 20s. But Alex and I, we met 5-6 years ago now.
More
But-
than that.
But yeah, it's funny to like we all played the same games, did the same things.
We absolutely had a very similar.
Obviously, we were raised in like similar areas. Like we all grew up in Massachusetts and stuff. But it's fun to tie it back and see kind of like like I'm not a baseball guy or a basketball guy, but I played NBA Streets. I played MLB the show back in the day. Like those are fun games.
Yeah, exactly.
I have to look that up for the MLB game. Same. I used to play Hot Shots golf. We've talked about that.
Yeah, Hot Shots golf.
I-
I have
it
a golf
actually-
game I play now. I don't know what it's called, but like I think
Ultimate Golf or something.
it might be.
On
Is
your
it on the phone?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
Ultimate Golf. That
Yeah.
one's fun.
That was
I
really
play that.
fun.
I
Yeah,
play
you pull it back and
yeah.
then you release it.
Yeah, you play against I play it like live against some random person all the time. And I'm
Dude, I had that game for such a long time.
I think I saw like it was an ad in like Words with Friends or something.
Yeah.
Slugfest.
Slugfest
MLB
loaded.
Slugfest.
Yep.
I didn't have
Nice.
loaded, but Slugfest.
Okay.
What a throwback.
Dude, I would remember running and sliding, and I would just always punch them, and they would like drop the ball, and they were like safe. It was the best. Or I would just run out to the outfield and just start punching.
Good times,
Oh my
dude.
God.
Comment below. Tell us
Yeah,
what your favorite
let's
games
go.
were growing up on the iPod, on the PSP, on the anything,
The PSP.
Xbox.
Nintendo, whatever.
Yeah, dude. Good times, good games. So,
There's a reason why we keep going back. It's just
and that's what I said. I mean,
It's not the
that's
same.
what I'm saying. I'm like, it's fun that we grew up, at the same time, but like completely unbeknownst or unaware of each other, and like, it's just funny that we all ended up playing the same things. But
I love it.
like and subscribe every Thursday morning, 11 a.m. We're dropping new videos. We might change that up.
We might.
Stay tuned. We might be dropping twice a week here, dropping some heat, dropping some steamers.
Warmer weather
That
comes up. We plans start picking up. So
We've talked about maybe doing some fun things too, or maybe we'll record on your back deck on a nice sunny day. Maybe we'll record it at the local breweries.
At the beach.
oh yeah,
Out on some surfboards.
If there's any local businesses, hit us up. We're willing to work with
We're
you.
here.
And,
send us a message. We'll get back to you for sure.
yeah, shake it up, baby.
Shake it up.
Cheers, boys.
Shake it up. Happy Groundhog's Day.
Groundhogs, multiple.